Hey everybody, Mark Arnstein, Remax Hallmark, and of course, livingnorthtoronto.com. This is vlog number 37. And I thought we met Mr. Peter Puzzo back in February from Dominion Lending Center's top producers up here on Avenue Road. And we had a great conversation last time about mortgages and what was going on. And now that we're 5 months past that last conversation, because that was back in February, what a change in weather. We were like in winter coats, freezing. It was so cold out that day. Anyways, I thought, let's take a chance and get a quick update about what's going on now in the mortgage world. What has changed in the last 5 months from where we were in February to where we are now in July?
So a couple of small changes, Mark. So the highly advertised and publicized stress test, slight increase in the stress test. So we had 4.79 back in February. We're now at 5.25. It's not going to significantly impact the purchasing power of anyone buying a home with less than 20% down. There is a small impact on those purchasing homes with less than 20% down.
Right.
It impacts purchasing power by about 10%. It's not a big deal. Interest rates back in February were super low. I think we were sub 2% on the 5-year fixed. A little bit higher today, 2.14 to 2.29. Variable rates still very low, 1.3, 1.4%, depending on what amortization period you're looking at.
Right, okay. And so now moving forward, going into the next few months or next year or so, where do you see rates going up, going down, staying stable? What do you think? What's the feeling out there?
Look,
because as I understand, make sure I understand, this is all based upon the bond market.
Right, well, fixed rates are.
Yeah, fixed rates,
So fixed rates are based on the bond market. Variable rates are based on Bank of Canada.
Right.
So the Bank of Canada told us for the longest time they weren't going to move rates until, middle to end of 2023. They've somewhat backtracked on that. So now they're saying possibly the middle of the end of 2022 is when we're going to probably start seeing some movements in the prime rate. I mean, I'm not an economist, but they're going to have to be careful once rates do start moving. I think it'll be a slow, gradual move, a couple of quarter point increases, and probably a pause.
Right. Okay. Okay. Fair. And then what do you see with fixed rates?
So fixed rates, again, we're in the low twos, historically ridiculously cheap.
Right.
Great time to buy a property. The economists that I follow seem to think that there's upward pressure on fixed rates. Again, I don't think they can, I don't think 3% is anywhere in the near future, but we're going to start seeing slowly, if the bond market continues to move as it has been, slow increases.
But the whole key to this, and I think which is so important for people to understand, is that even if the rates do go up slightly, which eventually all things are going to go up. I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Is that at the end of the day, it's still ridiculously cheap money.
Very.
Right?
Very.
I mean, I'm a little old. I remember when I bought my first place, when I was, I guess.
Don't say it.
Okay, a long time ago. It was in the late 90s. And I had 6.25 back then for a 5-year fix, right?
Yeah.
Which was cheap at the time. That was an unheard of rate. So you think about where we are, we're basically talking about 4 points lower than we are now, which is massive.
Right.
Massive.
We even forget, as recently as pre-pandemic, we had fixed rates, variable rates 150 basis points higher.
Right.
And nobody was complaining about rates then.
No,
so
exactly.
Timing is still great to finance a property.
And I've always been a big believer in this, and I've done a vlog on this before, and I said I'd rather pay a bit more for the property today, but have the lower borrowing costs, than have to pay less for the property but have a higher borrowing cost, because at the end of the day you're paying what? More interest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So,
and that interest is going to be far greater than what you would have bought the property for.
Right. So for your viewers looking to calculate payments in advance, the factor ranges from 3.5 to 4.25 per thousand.
Right.
Depending on what product and what amortization period you're going with.
Right. Okay. So speaking about the rates, right now, would you go variable or would you go fixed?
Look, that's the $1 million question.
Right.
Early in the pandemic, I was selling strictly fixed rates. They were sub 2%. There wasn't much of a spread between variable and fixed. Today, we have a little bit of a buffer, anywhere between 0.75% and 1%. So the borrowers have something to think about.
Right.
I use it's not one size fits all.
Right. Okay.
If you have a little bit of risk tolerance in you, go variable. If you like to sleep easy at night, go fixed.
Right.
And there also are lenders that we've been doing lately, hybrid products.
I love the hybrid.
50-50.
I love the hybrid.
Yeah, so you hedge your bet a little bit. If the rates move, so what? And you got yourself covered.
Right, and then with the variable rate, you got a little bit more flexibility. You can pay down a little bit faster. You can hack away at it quicker, and then You know, so there's options there. Okay, so, and now if you're gonna go fixed, would you go short term or long term?
Yeah, so I mean, that's an easy one in my opinion. If you're gonna go fixed, you go 5-year fixed. If you're gonna go short term, you might as well go variable.
Yeah,
right? Because by going short term, you're basically saying, I don't think rates are gonna be higher in 2 or 3 years. Well, if that's the case, go variable.
Totally. Okay, well listen, if you want more information, the best way to do is contact Peter. He is a phenomenal guy. I love working with him. He's always, you know, he's responsive, he's on top of it. He's like my Italian version of me. So what's the best way to contact you, bud?
Email peter@mrmortgage.ca.
Perfect. And otherwise, like I say, as always, make sure to subscribe to our channel, follow us along on YouTube, follow us along on all of our social channels. And I love saying this because I think we're almost there, but remember, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching, take care. And oh, by the way, we did not coordinate this dress attire for today. This is totally by fluke, and we did not plan this. Right?
Right, 100%.
Okay. Anyways, take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
Always
buddy.
a pleasure, buddy.